All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here today. It was great to hear the drum line and the cheer squad cheering us in this morning, so thank you all for being here. I'm Scott Howitt. I'm the Chief Communications Officer for Orange County Public Schools, and welcome to our Back to School News Conference. I'd like to thank Principal Tom Ott, University High School, for hosting us today. Thank you, Tom, at beautiful University High School. It's an amazing campus, beautiful. Thank you. We are here to talk about the start of the 2022-23 school year, which begins on Wednesday, August 10th. And today with us, we have our school board members. We have School Board Chair Teresa Jacobs. We have District 1, Angie Gallo. We have District 2, Johanna Lopez. And District 7, Melissa Bird. And also we have with us today Superintendent Designate Dr. Maria Vasquez. Also with us today is Orange County Sheriff John Mina and Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith, OCPS District Police Chief Brian Holmes, and they'll be talking about our continued security efforts in and around our schools. We also would like to thank our other law enforcement partners that are here with us today. We have Popka PD, Winter Park PD, and Winter Garden PD. We also, from our transportation department, we have Senior Director Bill Wynn, and our new Senior Director of Food and Nutrition Services, Mark Watson, is also here today. And we'll kick off today's press conference we'll hear from our school board chair, Teresa Jacobs. Chair Jacobs?
Thank you so much, Scott. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this morning. I know that you have a lot on your plates, but we appreciate the time that you've taken out to start the week, or the morning at least, with us. I can't thank Principal Ott enough for this wonderful welcome that we received. I'm not sure whether I felt like I was 18 all over again just walking in, or maybe a little bit better, because I don't remember walking into high school ever feeling quite so good. Maybe it was because I was walking in and I was a high schooler and I had all the work to do, but I will tell you, it brought back fond memories and a great spirit. Thank you for that, and thank all the young men and women out there who greeted us so kindly. I also want to take a moment to recognize Principal Ott and congratulate him on the University High School receiving the 2022 American Institute of Architects Florida's People's Choice Award late in July. Now, if you're not familiar with that award, because I will admit I wasn't, the award recognizes excellence in K-12 architecture, and this year the competition featured 14 schools from across Florida. Well, you can see, just walking through here, why this school was chosen the winner. This beautiful 78-acre campus resembles a Spanish village, complete with a central plaza and small courtyard buildings. The Mediterranean-style campus was built in 1990 and is the only version of its design in all of Central Florida. I understand the response was overwhelming, and I can see why, in favor of University High School as the clear winner. So congratulations again. What a beautiful school. What a great place for our children to come to learn and to succeed. Our order of business today is to kick off the 2022-23 school year. On behalf of our board, I want to thank all of our teachers, our school administrators, our professional staff, and their continued hard work and commitment as we begin another school year. I also want to thank all of our law enforcement who make our schools safe and keep our schools safe and keep the relationship with our students. It's so important to me that our students go through life understanding that you are here to protect us and to keep law and order. And so we are thrilled to have the support that we have every day in our schools, but we're also thrilled to have your presence here today. Thank you. We remain committed to our vision of ensuring that every student has a promising and successful future. And this year, we're ready to start off with a great new year. We are hoping it's going to be a very average year as far as no major anomalies in terms of disturbances, but an exceptional year when it comes to what happens inside these campuses and inside the minds and the brains of our students here. I also know that this is an extremely exciting time for us. This is the first time that I've had the opportunity, and our boards have had the opportunity, to welcome into service our new Deputy I'm sorry, I'm so used to the deputy, our new designate superintendent, Dr. Maria Vasquez. We are so excited about having her in this position. We've had the privilege of working with her for years. I've had the privilege of knowing her for over 20 years, and so we're really excited about this year. And of course, we're thrilled to have the service of Dr. Jenkins, who's going to stay on with us for a period of time as we transition. So we have the best of all possible worlds coming into this new year. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Maria Vasquez, designate superintendent.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair Jacobs. It's an honor to be here, and walking into University High School, Tom, it did bring back memories, not high school memories, but taking classes here during my master's program. I believe it was a statistics class, so it was great to feel the energy that is part of university, and that I am so hopeful will be part of what we all experience during the upcoming school year. This is definitely an exciting time for Orange County Public Schools, and I am truly honored to have been selected to lead this incredible school district. I've dedicated my life to creating learning environments where children feel safe, supported, and successful. This will be my focus as superintendent. I am committed to the success of more than 206,000 students and providing the support our teachers and staff need. Our district is made up of students from 208 countries, and they speak 166 languages and dialects. Buenos días, mi nombre es María Vázquez. Este es un momento emocionante para mí personal. Me siento honrada de haber sido elegida para dirigir este distrito escolar. He dedicado mi vida a crear ambientes de aprendizaje donde todos los niños se sienten seguros, apoyados y tengan éxito. Ese será mi enfoque como superintendente. Estoy comprometida con el éxito de todos nuestros estudiantes y brindando el apoyo que necesitan nuestros maestros y todos nuestros empleados. This year, we are excited about the opening of 5 new schools in our district. That makes a total of 200 school environments where our children will have the opportunity to succeed and thrive with the support of caring adults. Earlier this morning, the last of the 5 schools held their sneak peek. Stonewick Elementary invited students and families to come and see their new school. If you have not had an opportunity to visit one of our 5 new schools, I encourage you to go and visit. They are absolutely stunning. In fact, throughout the school year, I am committed to visiting as many schools as I can to listen, learn, and engage with both internal and external stakeholders to gain insights and strengths and opportunities we have in our near future. Communication is very important to me, and it's critical to the district's success. In my first 100 days, I have an aggressive plan laid out that I am committed to and have allotted time spent engaging with stakeholders, including our teachers. Our legal services team has been very busy addressing questions and sending guidance on the new legislation, House Bill 1557 and House Bill 1467, which have been complicated, but the information that have been given should be very helpful in the classroom. And I want to ensure all of our students, our teachers, our families, that every one of our students, regardless of race, gender, or background, will be supported by our school board and by our district. Another important topic is always on everyone's mind, and that's safety and security. I want to welcome our law enforcement partners who are here today, including Orange County Sheriff John Mina and Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith. One of the biggest changes with the start of the school is the amount of traffic that returns. And it's not just the buses, it's all of the cars that will be on our roadways, as well as our bike riders and our walkers. Please watch out for our students. If you are near a school, assume children are in the area, so extra caution is needed. We also know the tragedy that occurred at the end of the last school year in Uvalde, Texas, at Robb Elementary School, and it's incredibly still very fresh in our minds. Our hearts continue to go out to the families and the members of that community. I want to remind everyone how important it is that specific details of security plans and strategies are confidential. I want to assure parents and our community members that we remain vigilant in our efforts to protect our students and staff throughout the year. We have some enhancements that you will hear very soon. During the summer, a lot of our 12-month employees did participate in emergency preparedness training. We had over 400 administrators participate during the month of July in preparedness days at Lake Buena Vista High School. They received training on various topics, including crisis management, that had an active assailant drill. Other training involved SRO services and psychological crisis support. I know Orange County Sheriff John Mina and deputies did simulations this summer as well. I want to also share how incredibly fortunate we are as a community, as a district, to have such a strong collaborative partnership with all of our local law enforcement agencies. The tragedy in Uvalde is one that tugs at every one of our hearts. And we worry, when is the next shooting going to occur? What I do know is that if we are to keep our children and our employees safe, it's going to take the entire community. At this time, I would like to turn the podium over to Sheriff Mina.
Well, thank you and good morning, and it's a pleasure to be with our partners from OCPS, and the board has been we've had a great working relationship and looking forward to working with our new superintendent. In fact, we're on a national focus group with many other chiefs and sheriffs and superintendents specifically about school safety. So while the tragedy at Robb Elementary remains in our hearts and minds, and we are sending our children to school this week, I want our parents to hear this very clear message, that there is nothing that is more important to me, to us in law enforcement, than the safety of your children at their schools. They have been preparing for these types of events for years, which I'll get into later. So at the Orange County Sheriff's Office, we have 196 school resource deputies, corporals, and sergeants that are committed to the safety of your children in the 130 schools that we patrol. We have access to over 6,000 cameras from OCPS, and should any type of incident happen, we are immediately getting that information and can pinpoint the incident or occurrence so that the school resource deputy can go right there and knows exactly how to respond, as well as participating deputies. So all of our school resource officers have crisis intervention training. They also have additional youth crisis intervention training, and in addition to that, has specific training to deal with children who have autism, so they can deal with that in the most appropriate way. And I will say that our active assailant training is some of the best I have seen everywhere. In a minute, we're going to show a video of that. Our deputies are trained in the single deputy response, as well as other law enforcement responders. And what that means is that they're not waiting for backup. They're not waiting for a supervisor. They're certainly not waiting for the sheriff. When such a tragedy will occur, they are trained to go in and end the threat immediately and save lives. So at this time, I'd like to play a very short video that shows the training.
It's intense. I mean, they're screaming and yelling and the gunshots and things like that. You'd be surprised. You know it's blank rounds, but as soon as it goes off, your body gets engaged.
Stop the gun! We're doing some active assailant training here at one of our local high schools.
Please help me! Please help me!
This is involving our school resource officers, which we are putting all of them through this particular training.
We have to be prepared for the worst. And so these deputies need to go through this training. They need to see it, they need to feel it, and we need to make this as real as possible so they will be prepared.
First, we start off with a basic PowerPoint in the classroom, cover some basic issues involving active assailants. Then we'll start them off downstairs. Once they run upstairs, they're gonna hear some gunshots.
We use blank rounds to draw their attention to a problem. We have a loudspeaker that's screaming, imitating kids or teachers screaming, asking for help.
Don't leave me! Don't leave me!
The SRO will then come down this hallway. They'll see mannequins and strobe lights. Then they will be engaged by a role player who's firing blanks at them.
I'm a good kid!
And then they're gonna know that's the active assailant. I need to end the threat. I need to go into that classroom right away. Do not hesitate and kill that suspect before any more killing happens.
It's extremely important that they don't wait because seconds are lives.
Well, in these active shooter type situations, we don't have the luxury of waiting for backup. Our deputies have to go right in and eliminate the threat.
The more time that's passed waiting, the more potential lives that are lost. It's imperative that you move towards that threat and neutralize that threat as soon as possible.
This makes them better deputies because they're actually doing the training. The body won't go where the mind hasn't been, and this training does just that.
It's also the mindset that's involved here in the mental preparation. You've got to take steps you might not normally do. That means going through that door when you know the bad guy's on the other side.
We're really pushing and driving home the idea of their job, their sole job is to stop the threat.
Our deputies go through this active assailant training and are prepared should a tragedy strike. And I absolutely believe our kids here in Orange County are safer because of this active assailant training.
End scenario.
So as you can see, the active assailant training that our deputies go through is extremely intense, and they are well prepared to handle any incident here. And I would also mention that the surrounding agencies here in Orange County go through the same type or similar training, and we will all risk our lives for the children in our community. So with that, we want to have a great school year. Our school resource officers, deputies are really looking forward to getting back to school and mentoring and building those relationships with the children at our school. So this time I'll turn it over to Chief Eric Smith. Actually, before that, I did also want to mention some new legislation that came from the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Commission. So as you know, we do active assailant drills here at the schools, at every single school throughout the year. The new legislation says that in addition to the school resource officer, deputies and officers from the surrounding or who work in that area will all now respond and participate in that drill. So that just better prepares our entire agency and the agencies in Orange County to respond should we have any type of violent situation at a school. So this time I'll turn it over to Chief Eric Smith from Orlando Police Department.
Thank you, Sheriff Mena. I want to thank the school board, school superintendent, and the school chair. I look forward to working with all of you. New kid on the block, so I'm learning the ropes, but thank you. School safety is on the mind of parents, school faculty, our community, and our kids. School safety is also on the minds of law enforcement. As the chief of the Orlando Police Department, I believe the police should be visible and capable of protecting students in school from any harm. The Orlando Police Department has SROs deployed at every public school in the city of Orlando and 2 at each high school. These school resource officers have gone through months of training to prepare and respond to any critical incident. I've also instructed our patrol officers to know the schools in the area and routinely visit them to become familiar with the footprint of the school. The Orlando Police Department continues to work with our neighboring agencies and the school system to ensure there will be a coordinated effort in responding to any critical incident. To parents, students, and our community, we need your support in helping to keep our schools safe. If you see suspicious behavior, call the Orlando Police Department. In the face of danger, our officers will put their lives on the line for our kids. We need you to help us in preventing a tragedy from happening. We all must work together to make the school year the safest it can be. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Smith. Now we'll hear from OCPS District Police Chief Brian Holmes.
Thank you, Scott. Orange County Public Schools District Police works with our 9 law enforcement agency partners to provide a safe learning and working environment for our students and our staff. I want to remind everyone, if you see something, students, if you know something, say something. Fortify Florida was created and funded by the 2018 Florida legislature as part of the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Act. It is a suspicious activity reporting tool to do exactly that, to say something, that allows you to instantly relay information to appropriate law enforcement agencies and our school officials. New this school year, any individual known to have made a false threat against any of our schools that causes disruption may face charges by law enforcement. So use it when you need to say something. It's important. Remember, we take all reports of threats very seriously and must engage in a formal investigation as soon as we are made aware. So any false claims waste precious time, resources, and cause undue stress to our students and our staff. Also, as part of our school safety initiative this school year, we are rolling out an emergency alert system called Alyssa's Alert to all OCPS employees. This year, the district has fully implemented the Safer Watch application, which allows any employee to initiate a lockdown in the event of an active assailant situation or when an individual poses a significant threat to the school. The Safer Watch lockdown alert button simultaneously sends an emergency alert message to 911 and designated school administrators. The lockdown is then to be announced using the school intercom system. The application will be available on every school employee's district-issued digital device, or they can voluntarily download it on their personal devices as well. So let's go ahead and take a look. So again, this is available on the desktop at OCPS. It's available on their tablets, and they can also download it on their own personal cellular device if they desire to do so. This application is an enhancement to what we already do to keep everyone safe every day.
Thank you, Chief Holmes, for the update. We know another topic of interest is transportation. We have nearly 700 school buses that will be transporting approximately 70,000 students this school year. Senior Director of Transportation Bill Wendt joins us with more on what is new this year in Orange County Public Schools transportation. Bill?
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. Our team's been busy preparing for this school year. Approximately 70,000 students, Scott said, to and from 210 schools in the district. And just last week, we held a 3-day conference, 2 of them at the Orange County Convention Center, to prepare them and participate in safety and training to get us ready for students to be safe when they're on our school buses coming on this week. As many of you are aware, school districts across the country have been challenged to find sufficient school bus drivers. Our team has held numerous job fairs during the summer and will continue our recruitment efforts throughout the school year. But due to the driver shortage, our team discussed strategies with other school districts across the state as well as across the country to determine how to build school bus routes to transport eligible students with fewer drivers. And through those discussions, many school districts are having many select school buses make 2 trips to get school students to and from school. And for OCPS, this process entails a staggered transportation schedule. There will be 2 runs in the morning for high school students, which means some students may have an earlier pickup than others, and they'll arrive at school at 6:30 in the morning to give those buses time to go back out to pick up another group of students and have them on campus by 7. This will allow students time for breakfast before classes begin. This will not affect the elementary and middle school students in the morning. For the afternoon dismissals, the high school buses will make 2 trips again, taking students home, and some high school students may have a later drop-off time for their second trip. And this may affect the drop-off times for many of the elementary and middle school bus riders. At this time, the elementary and middle school buses are scheduled to depart the schools 35 minutes after the scheduled bell time. This additional 35 minutes will allow school buses to make 2 trips for the high school runs. This will also provide a more accurate drop-off time for parents, as the schedule will better actually reflect when the buses will be departing the schools and getting the kids home. These adjustments will not impact car riders nor walkers. The bell times remain the same. And as we do every school year, we'll make adjustments to the routes during the first few weeks of school, when we determine who's actually riding, and schedules can be changed. And with actual ridership, we can also adjust the routes as well. We will continue to ask parents, for those who can, transport your kids to and from school, and this will allow additional seats for those who need it. And we will continue to work hard to fill all bus vacancies, driver vacancies, and as we bring on more bus drivers, we'll be able to return some of the second runs for the high schools back to the more traditional runs. Now, before I end, I'd like to add a few reminders, especially for parents of elementary students. In their backpacks, please have your child's name, address, and your contact information in there. And if you know your bus route number, that as well, just in case they don't remember which bus to get onto. We ask that if you're going to be using the bus, please let them ride in the morning as well as the afternoon. That way they'll know where their bus stop is in the morning, where to get off in the afternoon, and they can also see who their bus driver is, and the drivers can also see the students are in order to do that. Also, be at your designated bus stop 5 to 10 minutes before the scheduled arrival time. That way we'll be there in time for the bus. To find your child's bus stop, you can go on our website to the Find My Bus link and then put in your information, and that will identify what bus routes and stop times for your child. Again, we want to thank our parents and our families for their continued support and patience as we begin this new school year. And if you know anyone who's interested in becoming a school bus driver, please have them visit our website and click on the careers link to apply. Thank you. Now I return this back to Scott.
Thank you, Senior Director Wendt. We have changes in food nutrition services this year as well, and including our new Senior Director of Food Nutrition Services, Mark Watson. He's going to tell us about some of those new things that are happening in food nutrition services. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Scott. Good morning. My name is Mark Watson. I'm the new Senior Director for Food Nutrition Services. And as my predecessor, Laura Gilbert, my goal is to make sure that all students have access to healthy school meals every day. We're excited this year to serve our students, and we just ended our summer program where we served over 730,000 hot and cold meals to 225 locations around Orange County communities. This included fresh fruit and vegetables with a focus on locally sourcing as much food we can from Florida State. Last school year, we served 36 million meals to our students of Orange County Public Schools. On June 30th, the USDA waivers that allowed OCPS to feed all students at no charge expired. This year, we have 75 schools that are on our National School Lunch Program, NSLP. What does that mean to you? That means that students attending these schools will have to start paying for their meals. That's why we encourage all families to go online and fill out the free and reduced meal benefit applications. You can find more information and apply on OCPS.net under the Food Nutrition Department section. The application only takes a few minutes, and you only have to fill out one application per household. And if your family qualifies, they will also may receive other benefits like discounts on after-school meal programs, after-school programs and camps, fee waivers for SAT, ACT, and PSAT exams, waivers on college applications fees, and discount on internet services and other benefits. Go to myschoolapps.com to fill out that application. If your child is enrolled in one of the 153 schools that participate in our Community Eligibility Program, or CEP, they will continue to receive meals at no charge, and that family would not have to fill out an application. You can check out the CEP and NSLP schools on OCPS.net, then go to departments, and then go to Food Nutrition Services. In closing, I would like to thank the hard-working food nutrition employees that come to work every day with one goal: to ensure that all of our children provide meals and are ready to learn. We continue to look for dedicated and hard-working people to join our team. Check out our job listing on OCPS.net, then go to Departments, Food Nutrition Services, and Food Career Opportunities, or you can call us at 407-858-3110. Thank you.
Well, thank you all for joining us this morning at University High School. And like I said, any of our panelists today will be available for one-on-ones afterward. Thank you all for being here.